evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Redbird Replay, a postseason edition, as we are here at Tepke Gymnasium for some regional semifinal action as the 14-12 Lady Redbirds take on the 7-22 Lasalle Peru Cavaliers. Hi, everybody. Alex Staub alongside Charlie Dreyer. Charlie, this is going to be a fun one. It's finally postseason basketball time. These girls have been waiting for this a long time. They've been waiting 8 years for a regional championship. That fire is burning, and it all starts tonight.
It does, Alex, absolutely, especially after the nice win that the girls came off for senior night Friday. Emotional time, but it was a great time. It was great seeing the three seniors go and meet as the captains before the tip-off.
And the one thing that kind of really struck me with that one, and some folks that were at the game might have noticed as well, is this three seniors were the first 7 or so points of the game. That was pretty unique.
It was a great, it just complimented coach. It complimented the girls, and especially it was a great testimony to the other girls on the team that we're going to put the ball in our seniors' hands and make them carry the weight. In fact, who was the high scorer of that game?
Sierra Seals, career high of 21.
Oh my gosh.
So we do want to cut in before we get underway for the sake of Redbird Replay. Here is our pre-recorded interview with head coach Brianna Morrow. Welcome to Metamora here with head coach Brianna Morrow. Coach, it's postseason time. It's the best time of the year, essentially.
Yep.
You come in against LaSalle Peru, 7-22. I want to start off with what do you know about the Cavaliers?
You know, they've had a few injuries, so that they're a little bit hampered by that. You know, I don't know if they're one of their best players, if she'll be back tonight or not, but she's been out a little bit. But they've got a decent guard who can shoot and get to the basket. They've got a couple post players who have a little size and get to the basket really well. So, you know, they're going to be a legit team. They like to drive. They like to, they shoot a lot of outside shots. So we're going to have to defend, and we're going to have to play well.
How much of this is the concern about not overlooking a team that's 7-22 in a fairly competitive Northern Illinois Big 12 conference?
You know, you can't. You know, this time of year, it doesn't matter if a team is 0 for, you know, whatever. You have to play the next game, you know, and I've told the kids, you know, I've been around long enough to see teams just get beat by somebody they absolutely shouldn't, you know, and there's upsets, you know, there's upsets all the time in regionals that are just shocking. And so you can't look past the next team. You've got to focus on the one that you're currently playing. You know, as a coaching staff, you know, you can't save stuff because you're going to wait and show it in the next game, and then you end up getting beat. And if you would have shown it, if you would have done it, you would have won. So we're treating this like this is the most important game of the year, because it absolutely is. Because if we don't win this, we go home. So you know, we've put that importance on those kids. You know, we haven't talked about Washington. Yesterday we didn't even mention them. We didn't mention Streeter. We didn't mention any other team but LaSalle Peru. And we've watched their film, and that's their focus. And we've got to take care of business and give everything we can in that game.
The one individual I do want to talk about is Sierra had that 21-point game on senior night. What does she have to do as an individual to make sure that just wasn't a happy-go-lucky senior night game? That's something that she can do on a more consistent basis.
Sierra's a kid that, you know, she's a pretty consistent shooter for us. You know, she's got a good shot, and she has the ability to score. She just doesn't look to score very often. And so we've talked to her about being a little bit more of a threat and looking to find her shot, looking to score a little bit more. We've kind of talked a little bit about it all season, but we've continued to talk about it. So I'm hoping she's going to be a little bit more aggressive, looking to be an offensive threat for us.
Liv is 3 points away from having 300 on the year. She's been playing pretty well the last couple of games. What have you seen out of her?
You know, Olivia has improved so much this year, and I've heard that from a lot of people, but her confidence level is incredibly high. She's doing a great job for us, and she's a very mentally tough kid as well. And so she just gives her best effort and just works and just works and just works. And she's finding ways to get things done, and she's really stepped up defensively. And so she's been a kid that we expected to kind of rely on a little bit this year, but as the season's gone on, we've relied on her probably more than she probably thought we were going to.
And the last thing I want to mention is kind of your big two, Ann and Reagan.
Yep.
They I don't want to say carried, but they've been a large part of what you guys have been able to do offensively all year. You talk about it being the biggest game of the year. How important is it, especially for those two, to step up and have potentially their best game of the year?
You know, and I've talked to those two kids within the last couple days, each of them, and you know, for those two kids, being focused mentally, physically, you know, those are two kids that they lead us in a lot of areas. And so for those two to be mentally focused and prepared and ready to go is really, really important. And you know what, yesterday and then even today, I feel like that they both are. And so I think that they're excited and ready to go.
How are you doing? You ready for this postseason to get underway?
I love it. This is the best day of the year. Other than the first day when basketball actually starts in November, this is the best day of the year because this is what you've worked for. This is what you've run every sprint for. This is what you've done every tough, hard practice for. The whole grind, all of it is for right now. And so I love this time of year and I'm excited.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. We'll be back. Charlie and I will talk more about this big regional semifinal. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Metamora. Just about 2 minutes away from tip-off in postseason basketball. Yeah, you can probably tell it in my voice. You'll probably tell it in Charlie's voice. It's about time for this postseason to get underway, and we are just a couple minutes from being underway here, but I want to go through the keys to the game. Charlie, for LaSalle Peru, we start with force your game.
Yeah, I think LaSalle's got to come out, and they have to actually own the court, both offensively and defensively. That's a down play for them. They're actually the guests here at Metamora's court, and they've got to take control of it.
And then they have to cause turnovers.
Yeah, they've essentially, it's a compliment to the first item. They've got to make us make the errors, but most importantly, they've got to score from them. Otherwise, our Fab Five out on the floor is going to do an awesome job.
And then the break into the Metamora keys of the game is we're just about a minute from tip-off. Be the ball, see the ball.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that they pass the ball. They can't play selfish. They got to carry on that momentum of team atmosphere and team play, Alex.
And then lastly, you're in good hands.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that when they give that ball to that girl on their team, they trust them to shoot it. They trust them to make the right choice and pass it.
Now let's get the starting lineup for the Lady Cavaliers of LaSalle Peru. Number 1, Aubrey Rhoda. Number 14, Emma Hack. Number 22, Gina Lucino. Number 30, Rhiannon Scoop. Number 51, Paige Champlin. Cavaliers are coached by Alex Vickery and he is assisted by Jason Miller and Connie Ewald. And now let's meet the starters for your Metamora Redbird. Number 4, Ann Peters. Number 20, Sierra Seal. Number 24, Olivia West. Number 30, Reagan Gold. And number 32, Allison Lee. The referees are coached by Metamora, Washington assistant.
So once again, there are your starting lineups. One more time for the Lady Redbirds: Ann Peters, Sierra Seals, Olivia West, Reagan McGoll, and Allison Lee. Sort of a player to watch for the Cavaliers is Gina Facino, wearing the number 22 in red. She's kind of their point guard, one of their certainly key components to how they move. It is Skoog jumping for the Cavaliers and West for the Lady Redbirds. And we are underway from Metamora Regional semifinal action as Reagan McGoll runs the point for Metamora.
LaSalle going into 1-3-1 defense.
Oh, nice look, Ann Peters. Tough shot is good.
Nice.
The Lady Redbirds start off with a 2-0 score here early in this one.
Yep. Pressuring on the court, out of bounds.
And out of bounds, Redbird ball.
Yep.
Lee will inbound to McGoll. Just 30 seconds into this one, Redbird's already out to a 2-0 lead. Left wing, Peters.
One of the few times that we've seen the 1-3-1 defense. Let's see how long they stay in it.
Lead 2 is good, and the Redbirds are up 4-0.
When you see easy baskets like that, Alex, you got to resubscribe and go away from that 1-3-1 and maybe fall back to a 2-3.
Cavaliers really struggling with the defensive pressure here. They do get an open 3, and it is no good. Rebound Allison Lee for the Lady Redbirds. 7:06 to go in the first quarter. Lasalle, Peru looking for their first points. Redbirds with 4. Bagol, nice look. Olivia West, 2 is good.
We're not even into, it's 6:58.
And we already got 6 points up on the board, Charlie.
Quick.
Oh, it's traveled. Nope. They get it off to Facino. I think Liv might have gotten a hand on that. Nonetheless, they get a rebound and 2. That is Champlin.
All right, so now they're coming up on a one-person press. Reagan gets by that easily.
And will draw a foul and be shooting 2 free throws. The LaSalle Peru foul is being charged to 51. That is Paige Champlin.
Reagan shooting very well from the free throw line.
First one is good. I believe Reagan is the team leader in free throws. And the Redbirds lead 8-2 after 2 free throws from Reagan Bagol.
Here we go with the press.
Reagan now shooting 49 for 70 from the free throw line.
Impressive. But when you're the shooter on top, you're expected to make those free throws. She's doing just that. Okay, Redbirds in 2-3 zone. LaSalle, the Cavaliers, have a 4-person spread with the...
And turnover. Lady Redbird ball, 8-2 is the Metamora lead, 6:09 to go in the first quarter, and Cameron Olson, number 3 for the Cavaliers, enters. She's kind of one of the key players to watch as well. She had a double-figure game in their regular season capper against Ottawa.
2-minute substitution. Let's see if that pays off for him.
Seals, as mentioned, had 21 on senior night against East Peoria, a career high. Ann Peters to Olivia West. Ooh, this is an open 3 ball if they can get it to Bagol, but they don't. But LaSalle Peru does foul, so it'll be their second or third. 2 fouls on the Cavaliers. Both of them are on Paige Champlin. Inbounds for Bagol to West. West may have gotten hacked. 3 ball Bagol. Good.
Like printing money. Like printing money. Not one hand on her, not a girl ran up to her.
11-2 Lady Redbirds, 5:37 to go in the opening quarter.
All right, they did a good job getting through our press.
Poked out Seals, out of bounds to LaSalle Peru. Boy, they are off to a fast and good start, Charlie.
Yep. And controlling that tempo on our side. You know, it's home court, but boy, our girls are really taking them to test.
Cavaliers on the inbound. Find Facino. Facino drives, just about turns it over. Close to 3 in the lane. And she'll get it back out top. Again, their player to watch, if you will.
Yep. Setting it back up.
Just a 5'3" senior. She has started all 4 years, to my understanding. Redbirds keeping up the pressure. Wild shot by the Cavaliers comes down the Peters. The goal on the run. Turnover.
Do that back bounce while she was squatting.
Peters is going to get called for the foul, more than likely. Yep. Foul is on Ann Peters, her first, team's first. And Cameron Olson, a 5'6" sophomore, shoots for LaSalle Peru. It is up and in. And Hope Skoog returns for the Cavaliers. Second free throw for Olson is also good. 2 for 2 trip to the line for the Cavaliers, and it's 11-4 Lady Redbirds, and quick the other way we go. Ann Peters, mid-range 2, misses everything, rebound Facino. It's an uncharacteristic shot, need to get that corrected.
Yeah, Ann normally makes a makes that easy bunny shot. I like to call them pop shots. It's there, they just pop up, make it.
Cavs on the drive. Now they're back out. They try to get it down low, and Allison Lee's right there for the nice block. Comes down the west. Ooh, nice look, Sierra Seals, but Facino is just a second early.
Okay, so LaSalle's showing a little bit of tenacity with the arms, getting in our way on those passes, Alex. They start up with that 1-4 offense, and the girls drop down.
3 is no good for the Cavs. They get their own rebound and open 2.
Oh, yeah, there it was. Got to keep that head on the swivel, ladies.
This is a regional semifinal rematch from 2 years ago. LaSalle, Peru, and Metamora faced off against each other up in Pontiac. The Redbirds coming out on top. Shot is no good. Rebound and Peters, and is fouled by Gina Facino.
Yep. It was a decent shot by Sierra. Just a little off. She might be a little tight, get loose slip.
Their third foul of the quarter, first on Facino. And the new entry for the Redbirds, a 5'9" senior Anna Barrow, replaces Allison Lee. So a senior for senior substitution for Metamora. 3:39 to go in the first. Redbirds by 5. This is Seals off the inbound.
All right, so LaSalle went into a 2-3 zone. Hopefully they didn't hear me say that. Oh,
West for 2.
Nice.
Nice look for Liv, and the Lady Redbirds lead 13-6.
Olivia kept that ball up, not able to bring it down to where the girls could knock it out of their hands. Easy pivot, in for 2.
And turnover for the Cavaliers. Lady Redbird ball, 3:07 to go in the first.
All right.
7-point lead for Metamora.
Let's make 2 off of this turnover, ladies.
Bagol continues to run the point. Oh, nice look. Olivia West for 2.
Just like I said, you're in good hands. Every girl knows where their teammate's at. Trusting them, give them that opportunity to score 2. And there's 2 points off that turnover, Alex.
Those cross-court passes always risky. LaSalle Peru able to pull it off that time. Facino. Now we're going to get a mid-range 2, is no good. Rebound, Olivia West.
That was good heads up by LaSalle. They moved that ball around, brought it along the baseline, and kicked it back out on a bounce pass.
Oh, nice fake and take, Anna Barrow, and she's going to be shooting free throws after the foul on the Cavaliers. It is on at 33. That is Erica Richardson. The sophomore picks up her first, team's 4th. And 2 free throws, Anna Barrow.
Looks like Tamisha's ready to come in, Alex.
First is good for Barrow. Smolin, the 5'4" sophomore, Tamisha Smolin, enters, as well as a 5'5" junior, Kaylee Hieronymus.
Watch Kaylee.
Ann Peters and Reagan McGoll entering. We have a timeout. LaSalle Peru. 30-second timeout called by the Cavaliers.
Expect great things out of Kaylee Hieronymus coming off the bench, Alex. She's been pivotal in scoring some quick points for the Birds.
Olivia West with 6 points to lead the Lady Redbirds.
Nice.
And Cameron Olson with 4 to lead the Cavaliers.
Well, she's been the tower of power in past games. She's down there. The girls are seeing her. She's making some good pivots, turnarounds for a nice shot.
Back out of the timeout. 1 free throw, Anna Barrow. This one puts Metamora up 11. And it is in. 17-6 is the Metamora lead. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Oh, nice defense.
Yeah.
Stolen away, comes down to Olivia West. Tamisha Smolin will run the point with McGoll on the bench.
Sal was doing a good job using both sides of the court, but when they threw it in the center, we got it. We were anticipating it.
Small in left corner, 3-ball, no good, rims out. Hieronymus to Seals. Back to Smolin. Nice look, Anna Barrow puts up the mid-range 2, and it is
Nice,
good.
Anna.
Redbirds are rolling here, 19-6 with 1:32 to go in the first quarter.
Stanner Sierra.
And we're going to get a foul on the Lady Redbirds. Shot will not count. 45, Kaylee Hieronymus picks up her first, team's second, and Reagan Bagol and Allison Lee come back in.
Well, LaSalle's got some height on their side, Alex. They've got Freeman at 5'10". They've got Richardson, Lissa at 6.
3 is no good. Rebound, Anna Barrow.
If those girls get cooking down on the base, like they should be.
We have a final score from Herscher. Morton defeats Pontiac 71-18.
I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
71 for Morton, 18 for Pontiac. Richwoods beat Manual 78-45. And Charlie, it was 47-9 Morton midway through the third quarter. Ended up being a 71-18 final.
Yep, there we go. Trying to bring it up the center.
Hieronymus. Nope. And we're going to get a
over the
foul.
back. There you go.
They're going to get a foul over the back on LP. Yep. And over the back on the Cavaliers, that is Cameron Olson, picks up her first, team's 5th.
Justly caused.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Cross-court pass, Hieronymus, 3-ball. Good.
Nice.
Keely Hieronymus for 3, and the Lady Redbirds are up 22-6.
If there's a 6th or 7th person off the bench that scores for the Birds, that Coach Morrow can expect and know that points are going to come off.
Turnover. Smolin turns it back over. Got to hold on to the ball.
Yeah. Team's got to talk.
2 is no good. Rebound, Allison Lee gets hacked in the head, but that was really unintentional more than anything. The goal, coast to coast. Misses the 2. Barrow tries to get the rebound, comes down to LP. And Bagol is going to get called for the foul, and really was just a scuffle more than anything. So Bagol picks up her first, team's 3rd. It'll be out of bounds LP.
See if Lasalle uses both sides instead of tries to go up the center. They did not know the time on the clock, Alex.
That'll end our first quarter with Metamora on top of LaSalle Peru, 22-6. We're going to stay on the air, and Charlie, I just want to get your thoughts on the first quarter.
Surprisingly, Alex, it's going very well for us. LaSalle Peru, they've got to make some adjustments. I think they've got to take a little bit more care of the ball, a little costly turnovers. The Lady Redbirds have been able to score off those turnovers. LaSalle Peru having a tough time bringing the ball up with our pressure. I think they've realized stay on the outsides instead of trying to go through the center, but it's just the first quarter. But we're up 22-6. Yeah, that just means 3 baskets. 3 baskets made in 8 minutes. Wow. What are your thoughts?
I'm just pleased with it. I can't say I expected it, because that would sound A, kind of rude, and B, like I know everything there is to know about both of these teams. But no, you got to be very pleased with the 22-point first quarter. That's, a couple of years ago, you'd say Metamora is playing out of their minds, but this has become more average almost for Metamora.
So expected.
Yeah.
Not a surprise, yeah.
They have to play up to those expectations, and through the first 8 minutes, they really have. Bagol, 3-ball. Good.
Yeah. So, Coach, kept Hieronymus out there and Tamisha. Oh my God.
And another turnover. This is Hieronymus. They're going to say traveled, even though Fasino had a hand on the ball.
Yeah, I didn't think that was controlled. I thought that was hands in. Okay, here's the press. Let's see.
Cavaliers down court. Nice box out, Anna Barrow, but they're going to give her the push. She was in front of the shooter. How can she push from behind?
Well, it's easy because that ref on the far outside took somebody else's call. I wasn't there, but
you're boxing a girl out. Okay, maybe she fouled, but it wasn't a push.
No, I don't even think she. Both girls were going for the ball. Nothing blatant, but
if anything, it was an over the back on LP.
Yeah, it's surprising. It really is. But when you make calls from that far away,
it's almost like blurred vision. And
oh my, we got called
travel.
Yeah, when you got a girl steamrolling, yeah, that's how you're going to move.
This is an interesting first couple of minutes here. Then Barrow's going to get called for the foul, I bet. No, travel. There we go.
And Alex below the camera, you didn't see her, but that ref actually picked out her whistle like, wow, does that thing actually work? Works against Metamora?
25-7. 9 fouls here combined in the first half. 4 for Metamora, 5 for LP, and a 3-ball for Bagol is no good. Yep. Shooting foul on the Cavaliers. It is on number 3, Cameron Olson. That's her second.
I was wondering when Allison was going to come up to the charity stripe. She kept staying down there like, Allison, that was your shot. Get up there.
Al's first of 2 free throws is no good. Rhoda and Richardson in for the Cavs. And it is good for Al. Redbirds 26, Cavaliers 7. 6:52 to go in the half.
Good dribbling skills.
2 is no good. Went over the back, gets the rebound. Back out top to the Cavs. 6:36 to go in the half. Still a 19-point lead for Metamora. No shot on the floor. Got a hold on Barrow probably, even though she traveled.
So I thought it was going to be 2. So on that one, Lasalle stayed up on top. Had the 4 girls out on the 3-point perimeter with their guard bringing it up. Nobody advanced until that girl came over on the side.
West returns for Metamora.
For middle Illini play, Alex, that's news to us. We've never seen anything like that. We'll adjust to it.
Metamora is in the bonus for the last 6:28 of the half, and that'll go out of bounds and stay on this end with LP.
Here comes Sierra
and Peters and Sierra Seals. Be good to see what they can do back in the starting 5.
Alex, you call a lot of ICC games as well as Bradley. Do you see that 1-4 offense in the collegiate level?
From time to time, but it's really not all that common.
Yeah, I'm surprised LaSalle has that. It's an unusual, but maybe that's in their conference. They got to do that.
Northern Illinois, Big 12, you're talking teams like Canelan, Ottawa.
Yep.
DeKalb. Those are some trips. 3-ball Bagol is no good. And rebound is going to squirt out to Ann Peters, who saves it to Allison Lee. And Al is shooting free throws.
Shooting again. And it looked like LaSalle went back to that 1-3-1 defense. I didn't think it was working for him, but the coach is obviously seeing something that we're not.
Cameron Olson just picked up her 3rd for LaSalle Peru. Lee misses the first free throw, and Fasino returns for the Cavaliers. Redbirds up 20 if it goes. It does not. Rebound Caps. Three ball is no good. Rebound Allison Lee for Metamora. 5:42 to go in the first half. 26-7 Lady Redbirds. But goal, Seals.
Nice shot fake.
Nice look to West. Two is no good. Rebound Cavs. 26-7. 5:25 to go in the first half. Just a 4-point second quarter thus far for Metamora. Two is no good. Rebound Allison Lee. But goal to Peters. Peters, three ball. No. Put back Olivia West, no good, and then Liv's going to get over the back. Play that's happened a couple times on the other end, but not going to complain about it too much.
Don't necessarily agree with that. If the gal from LaSalle, Peru actually boxed out instead of standing there straight up, Olivia was straight up.
That displaces Liv, and then can't really roll over the back on that, but.
Force a turnover, girls. Let's make that up. There we go.
The goal. Two is good.
Yep. Okay, let's do it again. Rinse, wash, repeat.
28-7, 4:48 to go in the first half. Facino just about has it taken away. Really knifes right through Ann Peters. Not too many guards are able to do that.
No, very few.
Nice pressure. It's gonna be
out of bounds on Red.
Oh, that's not a foul, is it? Okay, good. he had the fist up, and I was thinking he was calling a foul.
I thought he was going to call a foul as well. But Alex, I think right there's a difference between the points in the first quarter versus the second quarter. We weren't getting the turnovers with our full court press. And right there, that stands to reason. You got to do it. Get free points.
Seals to Bagol. Back to Seals to Lee. Lee was fouled. No call, but it goes off of LP to Metamora. That was a lot of contact, Charlie.
Put the helmet and shoulder pads.
Off the inbound, this is West to Peters.
Oh, Allison wasn't ready for that. Right over her head.
28-7.
Okay, we've gone man on defense. That's helped keep the score down, especially to LaSalle, obviously.
Almost stolen away by Bagol. Nice job by Reagan. Stays on the girl defensively. Almost forces a travel.
Boy, she doesn't want to shoot. No.
Skoog takes the mid-range two. It is no good. West comes away with it to Bagol. Got to get it ahead. This is Lee. Allison Lee, ooh, misses the bunny. And then gets a second chance opportunity.
That's a compliment to yourself to follow through with that shot. Watch it. Don't fall away.
Tipped by Bagol. Cavaliers, Redbirds could have capitalized on that.
I don't know why she didn't hesitated and didn't take that shot down there.
Facino 3 is no good. Skoog 3 is no good. And the Redbirds just going to let it go out, and it'll be Metamora ball. Alana Terry enters for the Lady Redbirds. And looks like Cameron Olson returns for LP. (30-7) is the Metamora lead. 3:03 to go in the first half. Halftime stats. And Charlie and I's keys to the second half coming up. And Peters' open three ball is good.
There we go.
Boy, she doesn't miss that too often.
When you see that left leg stand still and that right leg pop out.
33-7 is the Metamora lead. 2:40 to go in the half. Oh, nice job defensively there by both Terry and West. Forces the turnover. Bagol is just going to take it herself. Two is no good. Gets her own rebound. Nice job by Reagan, but it eventually finds its way to LP. And two is no good. Rebound comes down the Seals.
See if we control it for the last 2 minutes here. Go in the locker with some good momentum.
Three ball Seals is good. She can make, or missed rather. I was going to say that shot can be good was my thought. She's within range there. And Olivia West picks up the foul for Metamora. That's her second.
Bonus one-on-one for Lasalle, right?
Yep, 7 fouls each. Facino to the line for LP.
One of the 3 seniors on the team, correct?
I believe
For LaSalle?
3 is the number. 1, 2, yeah, 3 it is. Misses the free throw. Rebound, Sierra Seals. Nice look down low to Terry. Kick out Seals. 3 ball is good.
Nice. Good assist. Alana was smart. She knew she had 2 girls breathing on her back. Kicked it back to Sierra. Good compliment. That's team ball.
1:40 to go until the half. Redbirds are about to hit 40. And Seals comes away with it despite the tough defensive pressure from Facino. Peters. Nice look to Alana Terry. And Alana will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws after the foul on LaSalle Peru. That is on 14, Emma Happ. That is her first. Team's 8th. And Alana Terry to the line.
Cameron Olson's got to be smart. She's got 3 on her.
Terry makes her first. And Rhoda returns for LP. 37-7 is our score. Terry's second free throw is good. 2 for 2 trip to the line for Alana Terry, and the Lady Redbirds lead 38-7. 1:23 to go until halftime.
Birds are staying man-on-man defense, Alex. Keeping LaSalle pretty quiet out there and down below.
Cavs with a nice hard screen there, and looks like Ann Peters is going to get called for the block. Now, I'm not saying they're the right versus the wrong calls, but it seems like the physicality of what they are calling is inconsistent. There have been stretches where they've called the nitty-gritty, and there's been stretches where they haven't called a hard foul.
Yeah.
As Skoog makes the 2.
Nice fadeaway for her.
It's 38-9. Seals to Peters. Corner 3 ball. Good. And the Redbirds, before we've even hit halftime, it's 41-9.
It's a good number for us. We've had many games going in the 40 and above into the halftime.
Nice D by Hieronymus, 2 no good. Nice rebound for Ann Peters.
Ball control going to the half.
Smolin 3 ball. Good. Another 3 for Metamora, and it's 44-9 just before halftime. Facino drives, 2 no good. Rebound Hieronymus. Let's get another score here before the half, Charlie. 5 seconds on the clock.
We can do it.
Nope. Smolin. No. That will send us to halftime. Redbirds. Well, rolling. They're rolling here in this one. 44-9 is our halftime score. Our thanks to Joe Terry keeping stats for this game. We'll be back with first half stats and Charlie and I's keys to the second half. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Metamora. Alex Staub, Charlie Dreyer with you here. Joe Terry on the stats, getting ready for second half action. Get a look at Lady Redbird alum Abby Coates here with ICC teammate Emma Henderson. They got a big game coming up tomorrow. Number 14 ICC women take on number 18 Parkland down in Champaign on Valentine's Day at 7 o'clock.
That's a good rivalry, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and it's really going to shape up well this year. And the big storyline is 2 former Lady Redbirds going against each other. Abby Coates for ICC and Heather DeLuca for Parkland. So I am really excited to make the trip down to Champaign for that one. Some halftime scores for Metamora. Alana Terry, 2 points. Ann Peters with 8. Tamisha Smolin with 3. Sierra Seals with 3. Olivia West with 6. Anna Barrow with 2. Reagan Bagul with 10, Allison Lee with 3, and Kaylee Hieronymus with 3. I'm sorry, that's 5 for Allison Lee. 5 points for Allison. We are at the half, 44-9, and before we get going with the second half, Charlie, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, as typical in gameplay for us, we're getting points off the turnovers. LaSalle's falling in for it. They're not controlling the ball. We are. We're getting the turnovers. We're making the shots. But LaSalle, I'm seeing a little bit of hesitation. They're not expecting the ball. When they get the ball, they're like, I'm not going to make the shot. You take the shot. And then by that time, it's too late. It's a turnover.
And LaSalle Peru at times just seemed kind of overwhelmed. You know, they kind of the same situation with the last game, and they, you know, they have the talent. They have Facino, who, you know, I remember watching her play, what would have been as a sophomore a couple years ago at Pontiac. You know, she was a talented player back then. I still think she can be a talented player now. It's just a matter of how well they can perform in the next 16 minutes, or we are going to have an arch rivalry matchup for the regional title Thursday night. Which, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but that would be a big, big game if that matchup could come to fruition.
So, Alex, in your opinion, last night versus IVC, and let's see, Streeter. So you said IVC came back against Streeter, but Streeter pulled it out.
Yep.
And then LaSalle came in with no opponent up until this point, or did they also have a play-in last night?
They did not have a play-in.
Okay,
but their last game was closing out the regular season against Ottawa, and I believe they won.
Okay. So I think what LaSalle Peru needs to do is they have to have better control. They're bringing the ball up with some purpose, but they're just not shooting the ball. They had the opportunities. They're not taking advantage of it. Whereas for us, we're passing the ball, and the girls trust those that they gave it to shoot it and score. And if they don't score, we typically have gotten the rebound. I don't think we've had many forced turnovers by LaSalle, maybe on ourselves. We've turned it over.
5 turnovers aside for Metamora and LaSalle Peru.
I don't think LaSalle scored any off of our turnovers, did they?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Well, you look at that rebound that Allison Lee had. There were 2 girls around her. She got that rebound, and I think Allison is out height.
Facino runs the point for the Cavaliers, 7:55. We are 5 seconds into the second half of this regional semifinal game between the LaSalle Peru Cavaliers and the Metamora Lady Redbirds. Winner faces Washington this Thursday. And turnover, 16 seconds into quarter number 3. Again, as mentioned, winner gets the Washington Panthers this Thursday at 7 o'clock for the regional title. Myself and Letty Lerma will be on the call of that one. Charlie, you're going to take over the PAs Thursday. Exciting gig. As Olivia West makes the 2. Redbird's first points of the second half.
She went to her left instantly. And that's why I think, Alex, we talked about this at the last game. Is she left-handed? She went to her left naturally.
Nice defense by Liv. And the 2 is good for LP.
Okay.
They hit double figures.
Yep. So looks like LaSalle's come back, putting a little bit more.
Reagan Bagul for 2 on the other end.
Gee to me, Christmas. Did she even get contested?
Very little right at the end, but when a player as talented as Bagul, you cannot give her that many opportunities or she's going to go off for 20, maybe 30. And the 2 is good for LP. They've made a little bit of a push here.
So it's 2 possessions for LaSalle that they've scored. They're bringing the ball down, Alex, and expecting us to fall for it, and then they're dumping it off to the post. That time she went up for the layup. So now LaSalle certainly going into the center of the lane instead of outside. There's a costly turnover for us.
Cannot turn it over. I mean, South Peru hasn't been able to convert off too many of them, but that doesn't mean they're going to keep doing that.
Yep. Okay, we stay on man defense. I failed to take comment as to what LaSalle's gone to, if they've gone to man-on-man on their end.
Oh, Liv Liv needed to be straight up on that one, but she was not and is going to get called for the foul.
Temptation, control.
That was Liv's third, so
Oh.
she's got to be careful now.
Maybe they're going to bring in Ann.
How about Anna?
Anna, sorry.
Anna.
Allison.
Man.
Olivia.
So those are your, so 5 on the floor for Metamora. That would be Barrow, Bagol, Lees, Seals, and Peters. And Bagol puts up the shot. It's no good. Rebound for LP. 48-14 is our score.
All right, Birds. Let's hold them off. Let's not get them 3 in a row baskets here.
And poked away by Bagol.
There we go. That was a silent hand.
2 is good.
Nice.
50. They are 18 points away from their most points in a game all season, and we still have 13:26 to play.
You know, Reagan going up on that shot, she had presence of mind. She knew that. She's made that shot before. She had confidence. She was rewarded for that with 2 points. Okay, that's 2 back-to-back possessions. Lasalle couldn't take point.
Oh, nice look. This is Anna Barrow for 2. 52-14. 5 minutes to go in the third. And out of bounds, turnover on LP.
So, Alex, I know you've got a plethora of statistics there. What was the final score of the Pontiac game? Did we break 60? Was it 62?
The Pontiac game was 68-36. That is our most points in a game all year. 68-36 over Pontiac. But then 2 games later, we hit 68 against Pekin. 68-41. And Bagol muscles up the shot, no good. Gets her own rebound. Kick out 3-ball. Seals is good.
Nice.
55-14. It's up to a 41-point lead for Metamora.
So getting 2 offensive boards back-to-back, then kicking out to the 3.
And turnover. Kaylee Hieronymus, Tamisha Smullen, both check in for Metamora.
Okay, give Reagan a break.
The goal
And
out
Anna.
as well.
Yep, and Ann Peters a break.
Boy, I don't blame you, Charlie. When you get Anna and Anna on the floor, it gets pretty confusing. Good thing it's not like same last names, too. We'd be having fits up here.
Especially if I suffer from dyslexia. No, that's so-and-so. No.
Oh, and Hieronymus be shooting free throws after the hard foul.
Yep, she saw that seam, Alex, and she took it.
It is on number 3. That is Cameron Olson. That's her 4th. She's one of the key offensive pieces for this Cavaliers squad, and she is likely going to have to come out now. Cameron Olson with 9 of LaSalle Peru's 14.
But she's young, Alex. She's a sophomore, as you mentioned before. You know, this is the rebuild, the development of the program for them.
As Hieronymus makes the free throw, and it's 57-14.
Give her a mental break. Think about it. Understand you can't be slapping, you can't be swerving those hands.
3 for the Cavaliers is no good. Rebound comes down to Hieronymus. Now Seals with it.
Yep. Kirsten waits for the leader on the floor to set it up.
They get it down low to Barrow. Nice move, Anna Barrow. 2 doesn't go, though. Seals comes down with it. Her mid-range 2 is no good. Rebound to Hieronymus. Open under the basket for 2.
Oh, my gosh. Did you see how she went after it? She did not give it. Gal from LaSalle Peru didn't take control of it, kept the ball to her side, saddling it. Easy steal.
3 for Skoog is good.
I think that's LaSalle's first three-pointer, isn't it?
Yep, that's their first 3. 59-17. Oh, nice look, Anna Barrow, and she's shooting free throws.
Yep. She gets rewarded with that. Nice shot fake, moves to her left. Girls from Lasalle were too slow on that. Swatted her hand.
Skoog picks up the foul for the Cavaliers. It's her first, team's second, and Anna Barrow at the line for Metamora. Misses the first of two. And McKenna Youngquist is into the game. Youngquist for Seals.
Good time to get out. Good job, McKenna. Let's keep the bench moving, Coach.
Barrow's free throw is good, and the Redbirds have hit 60. 60-17 is the score, 2:43 to go in the third quarter. Shot is no good for LP. And I think, Charlie, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you see how Streeter played against LP in the final score of that one. And you see, LP's the better team over Streeter and LP, I think, or Streeter and IVC. I think Metamora beating LaSalle Peru by a higher deficit than Washington just beat Streeter. I think that bodes well on paper for Thursday.
Certainly does. I think the bench strength that we've got, we've talked about in previous games as well, Alex, is I think every girl off our bench is strong defensively as well as offensively. And it just seems like we've got a nice cohesiveness, good gelling on the floor. You know, having a team chemistry on that floor is more important than talent.
Youngquist to Lee. Oh, nice move. Allison Lee misses the two.
I was even faked out on that.
That was pretty good. 60-19 is our score. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Skoog, another three is no good. Rebound LP, put back.
All right. Nice rebound. We didn't have a white jersey anywhere near. Uncontested. Should have gone in.
60-21. Alana Terry will enter next dead ball. Hieronymus, fairly open drive to the hoop. Two is good.
Yep. LaSalle's gone back to a 2-3 zone defense. Able to penetrate that with quick movement, passing the ball.
Skoog took a couple of steps. Don't know if she used the pivot foot.
It was a nice move.
Skoog's two is no good. Plinko's around and down to Tamisha Smolin. 62-21 Redbirds. Barrow's calling for it. Lee gets it. Lee's two is no good. Rebound Champlin. Three for the Cavs is good. That's Skoog again.
Okay, that's two. 2 threes for her. She knows that she can make it. She's being uncontested. Why not?
Youngquist two is no good. Easy putback for Anna Barrow.
Less than 45 seconds left in this third period, Alex. 64 points.
That's pretty good.
Especially
for Metamora, considering
I'm impressed.
68 again is the season high for points in a game, and we haven't even finished the third, and we already got 64. And Barrow is straight up, but is going to get called for the push. So Anna picks up the foul.
Yeah, I thought she said hi to Mr. Wilson or Mr. Spalding down there.
That's her third. Also the team third. Skoog to the line for LP. First is good. And as mentioned, Alana Terry into the game for LP. And zero, that's Klein, also in for the Cavaliers. Got a 39-point game here, wrapping up the third quarter. Free throw is no good. Rebound Allison Lee. Hieronymus drives baseline, puts the two up on Skoog. Shot no good. Comes down to the Cavs.
It was a nice slide on in there.
We gotta get those rebounds.
Yeah, that was a nice slide by Hieronymus. I like that move.
Open three for LP is no good. Alana Terry brings down the rebound. Hieronymus. And we are headed to the fourth quarter. Metamora 64, LaSalle Peru 25. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter. Welcome back to Metamora. Alex Staub, Charlie Dreyer with you here. Fourth and final quarter of this regional semifinal game. (64-25) is the Metamora lead. Reagan Bagol, your leading scorer with 14. As it stands right now, she'd be the digiMAX player of the game. Shot is no good for the Birds. Rebound, Hieronymus.
Call traveled.
Oh, a travel. Okay. I was going to say there was no offensive foul in there. I might take a travel, but no foul.
Yeah, it looks like she just did a stutter step. They didn't like the pull. Oh, Tamisha, nice steal.
Ooh. Ooh, Hieronymus, that's a risky dive there.
She gives it her 100% though, Alex. She is diving. Nothing but 110. Love her for that. Similar to the first game, Alex is getting a little more reserved, not as much excitement. Fans are being very sportsman.
2 is good for Richardson. Charlie, I know it's a 37-point game, but it could be a greater deficit than that right now. And Allison Lee.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. Well, I've said this often, she must get that talent from her mom.
That's a pretty good look for Al. 66-27 is our score. 6.5 to go in the ball game. Nice defense, Alana Terry. 2 does not go. Rebound, Hieronymus. Ahead to Youngquist. Youngquist, Terry. Terry shooting free throws.
Alana was planted. The gal from LP was behind her. No choice but to go to Alana on that one for 2.
You ready for this, Charlie? That was on Capitaneus.
Yes.
That's her.
Georgia.
Capitaneus.
Yep.
Whew. I apologize for any LaSalle, Peru fans if I'm botching that name.
5'6" junior, getting some play time.
Terry misses both free throws. 60, what do we have here? Travel on LP.
I thought they were going to call it over the back by Alana, but
you would think.
Thank goodness she was traveling with that passport. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I thought it should be our ball.
66-27, 6:21 to go. Allison Lee can't find anybody, has to get it off, finds Smolin. Hieronymus over to Lee. 6 minutes to go now, 39-point lead. Youngquist to Lee. Back to Youngquist. Back to Terry. Oh, nice look to Alana Terry.
Very nice.
And there is the season, tied for season high in points in a game with 68. We got another 5:46 to break that mark. I'm thinking that's going to happen, Charlie. We got some subs for both teams. Anna Barrow returns for Metamora, and Shelby Bickford returns, as well as Gina Facino for LaSalle, Peru. So now 68-27, 5:39 to go. This is Youngquist to Hieronymus. 31-point lead for Metamora. 41-point lead, what am I thinking? Alana Terry with the 2.
Yep.
And 70. That is the first time in 2 years that the Lady Redbirds have hit 70 points in a game.
Hallmark card moment. Well, Alana does best at that. She glides her shoulders into it, just continues on with that momentum, and makes a basket.
70-29 is our score now, 5:04 to go. And here come the Cavs. Poked out by Youngquist.
There we go. To McKenna and Aubrey Youngquist, 2 fast girls on that court.
Emma Happ returns for the Cavaliers.
Okay, we step with a 2-3 zone.
Long 3 for Facino, and LP gets a way too easy offensive rebound. It's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Cavaliers. 4:44 to go in quarter number 4. Say that 10 times fast. 70-29 Metamora. Guess I could have found an easier way to say that, huh?
Good tongue twister. And silent.
2 is good.
Why draw a foul on that? Just keep your hands up. Make her work for it. All right, LaSalle's fallen to a man-on-man.
It's going to be 2 shots for Anna Barrow. Foul is on Gina Facino for LP. That's her first. They have it as her second, but that is her first. Free throw is no good for Barrow.
So you're gonna go down there and tell the book, Mr. Galandri.
Don't mess with Daryl. 4:16 to go. 70-31, Lady Redbirds.
They'll give him a free pass, NFHS for this game.
Yeah, long. No, that was actually a 3 by Facino. It doesn't fall out of bounds to Metamora. So Lady Redbirds still got 4 minutes to play, but Lady Redbirds will move to 15-12 on the season. Sal Peru will finish the season 7-23. We are going to have, Charlie, the matchup of Metamora versus Washington, the blacktop matchup for a regional championship. That'll be a fun one. This 3-ball Hieronymus does not fall. Alana Terry put back under the basket is no good, but she is shooting free throws.
Alana shoots very well from the free throw line. Methodical. She's got her poise. Let's bring us over 70 here, Alana.
3:44 to go in this one. End of the game stats. And combination between you, Charlie, Joe, and myself will select our digiMAX player of the game, our first postseason digiMAX player of the game. And we'll talk to head coach Brianna Morrow and our player of the game. So a lot to come up in the post game, but we still got 3:40 to play here. 71-31 Metamora. .40 game, 3:24 to go.
Yep, Lady Birds are in a 2-3 zone. Keep it safe. No, we're falling into man-on-man.
And pass out of bounds off Facino. That's Metamora ball. Capitaneus.
Yep.
I think they're just going to sub her in and out so we can get enough practice on that name before this game's over.
Alex, earlier in the season, you were sharing with me a gal. Was it from
Illinois.
Indiana? Illinois. What was her?
Illinois. Nancy Pangiatapulu Andritsapulu. And I don't even know if that's right. Freshman with the Illini, played on the Greek national team. Might still play on the Greek national team. I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Kelly knows how to bring that ball up. Multi-purpose player.
Oh, nice look down low. Nice fake. Alana Terry, too, is no good.
She stayed with it.
And we're going to have a jump ball. Possession, Lasalle, Peru. 25, Alyssa Ernat.
Alyssa comes in.
And Gina Facino, her career with the Cavaliers may just be over now. To my understanding, has started all 4 years.
Good for her.
That's a good block, Alana Terry.
Yep.
I think the only reason the LP player fell is she wasn't ready for it. And Anna Barrow on the other end. 73-31, a 42-point game. If this holds, this would also be the largest win in 2 years. And boy, the postseason is a good time of the year to get it. We're going to have a jump ball, possession, Metamora.
What I see that happening for us, especially since we know we're going to play Washington, Alex, it gives the girls a boost. It gives them that confidence. Nothing saying against Lasalle Peru, but when most of the girls that we're putting in are out there, they're getting good time, they're getting good looks, they're getting good shots, rebounds, working on that playing time. I tell you, that gives us a lot of momentum into Thursday's game. Washington, on the other hand, Washington's girls, they had the same opportunity, but it seemed like they were more suppressed with their scoring. I'm not saying that we're running the score up, but I like what I'm seeing going into Thursday's game. We go into a 2-3 defense. LaSalle moves it around the perimeter on the outside. Alana stays nice and silent on those arms. No sense going after that.
2 is good for LP, but this one is pretty much over.
Yep.
33 for LP, 73 for Metamora. I think we're going to name Reagan McGull our digiMAX player of the game, but certainly deserving consideration is Anna Barrow. But we are going to give the nod to McGull.
Nice hop and a skip for Alana going in on the left side. On the right side of the basket, but moving to her left to get in there. Nicely played. Uses the backboard, knows the magic of that square.
LP on the baseline. Yeah, that's going to be off LP. Yep. Metamora ball, so the Lady Redbirds will probably just dribble this one out. 75-33.
We're going to keep it up on top. Nope, you're going to throw it down. Keep it up, going on top. They're not going to contest us.
That's a final. Metamora is going to play for their first regional championship in 8 years. Final score 75-33. Lots to come in the postgame. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Metamora here with our digiMAX player of the game, Reagan McGull. You were too tall. I got to get up on another step. So the one thing that really stuck out to me is you guys were really on a roll early. How important was that in the first postseason game at home to get on such a rhythm early?
We came out with a lot of confidence, and with the attitude that it's do or die. So that was kind of what our mentality was.
And you guys seem to be shooting the ball pretty well. I had you for 7 threes at the half. That had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, we shot a lot yesterday in practice because we knew they were going to zone us, so we were preparing for that.
And I guess the elephant in the room is after so much speculation of who you guys are going to face in the regional championship, you're finally going to get your shot at Washington.
Yeah.
How I guess, I don't want to say critical important, but for lack of better words in that sense, how is it to finally be able to focus on getting to play the Panthers for a regional title?
We've been looking forward to it for a long time, and tomorrow's our day to focus against them, and we're going to come out with the best we have.
We will be right back with head coach Brianna Morrow. Thanks, Reagan, and we'll see you Thursday. Welcome back to Metamora here with head coach Brianna Morrow. Coach, things started flowing, they kept flowing, and you finish with your most points in a game in 2 years. That's got to feel pretty good.
It did. You know, I was really proud of the kids for the energy that they came out with, and I felt like every kid that came on that floor, they worked and they were out hustling people and diving on the floor, getting loose balls, tracking down rebounds, so all those hustle plays were really important for us, and I was really pleased with the energy and the enthusiasm and the focus that our kids came out with.
And the elephant in the room, Same question I asked Reagan. There's been so much speculation: Metamora versus Washington, Metamora versus Washington, Metamora versus. Now it's happening.
Right.
Does that? I don't want to say. Okay, I guess I'll say it is take a weight off your shoulder that. Okay, you can now finally prepare for that big arch rivalry game for your first regional title in 8 years.
You know, it is nice to have that first one out of the way. The kids came, they were focused, they took care of business, they did the things that they needed to do, and now we get to focus on prepping for that championship. And so, yeah, it's nice, and we want to have that rematch with Washington, so we're excited about that, and so it'll be a fun game, and we're going to come and focus and prepare, and you know, we know each other really well, two teams that know each other incredibly well, so it's going to be a nice fun little match.
And we talked the last time Metamora and Washington were going to meet about specifically Ann's attitude going into the game. They really, it seemed like, had her scouted pretty well in both games. But it comes down to that thing, not just for Ann as an individual, but I think for the team as a whole. I guess you can't obviously say anything what's going to happen right out of the gate, but it is hard to beat a team 3 times. It is.
It is tough to beat a team 3 times. So, you know, and we know that, and my kids they're confident, and I think they're going into this game a little more confident and a little more focused than we have, I think, the other times we've played them, you know, and it's going to come down to, you know, little things here and there. It's going to come down to defensive stops. It's going to come down to executing on offense, getting the right shots, handling pressure from both teams. Offensive boards are going to be an impact, you know, transition points. All of those things will come into play. And so we've got to be prepared, and we've got to be focused, and it's going to be a full game. You know, you're going to have to play for the full 32 minutes. So it's going to be a tough one. But I think my kids they're ready and excited.
And I want to close with essentially a pitch. That this is about as good as it can get. It's an arch rivalry. It's an arch rivalry in pretty much every sport. It's a regional championship. You're going for your first in 8 years on your home floor.
Right.
To, I guess, kind of pitch to the folks to potentially get a pretty big crowd for arguably one of the biggest games in almost a decade for this program.
You know, I think it'll be a good crowd. You know, I think nobody else plays on that night, which is fortunate. The boys do not play on this night. You know, the boys always play away. So none of our other teams are playing, and so I think it'll be a fun night. You know, I think our cheerleaders are going to be here, and so I think we're going to try to get a good crowd, and the kids are excited and they're ready to go, and you want this to be one of those kind of atmospheres that, you know, you're lucky enough to play in. You know, those kind of atmospheres, those kind of moments are what we're hoping for, and so this is what we've worked for, and this was our goal from the beginning of the year was, you know, to get to the regional championship and win it. So now we've got that opportunity, and now it just comes down to, you know, putting in the work and executing the game plan.
All right, Coach, we'll have you stick around for just a moment, but let you go for the moment. Final score, Metamora wins 75-33. Letty Lerma and I will see you Thursday for the call of Metamora, Washington for a potential regional championship. Have a good night, everybody.